questions around the policing, Richard, of such demonstrations continuing now into another week.
Yeah, certainly so, Colette, and it is the first opportunity for Drew Harris to be directly questioned about the tactics employed by An Garda Síochána in response to Sandwich Street, to Mound Street in Dublin as well as to Inch in County Clare, where that blockade has been stood down for the time being. Now, there has been questions about how Gardaí were present at the scene at Sandwich Street and tents were then burned, as well as that how Gardaí who were walking alongside protesters against asylum seekers allowed them to walked along in front of the tents in front of the International Protection Office in Mound Street, where further obscenities were shouted at asylum seekers. And then in County Clare we had a situation where it was widely reported by local people that they were asked for ID by protesters on the ground there, something which does not fit within the confines of the law. Drew Harris says that is not being allowed to happen, but Gardaí are not stepping in. They are trying to de-escalate the situation. Here's his explanation of Garda's strategy.
And I would say there's two things. There's two bits of their playbook that we can see that they want to achieve. One, they want to act on local fears, local concerns, and in effect gather up a crowd. And they've been successful on occasion. On other occasions, they've been completely refuted. The other piece, and it's a classic part of their playbook, is an over-response by the authorities of the state, i.e. in Garda Síochána. We are not going to fall into that trap.
Well, I asked the Garda Commissioner if this softly approach to policing these demonstrations could change in light of further protests as they move along. He denied that it was a softly approach. He also said death threats against the family of people before Prophet TD Paul Murphy are being taken very seriously and are being investigated. The Justice Minister Simon Harris, meanwhile, saying that it is not for people to question the actions or the decisions of Gardaí on the ground. He said it is very easy for people to sit behind desks and to speak on microphones and question Gardaí on the ground, who he says have the full facts of the situation as they stand.
Richard Chambers, our news correspondent, thank you for all of that.